From a beef between show hosts to a beef between co-hosts, Ridiculousness may have been known for its wild video clips, but it was nothing compared to what happened behind the scenes. At the beginning of every episode, a warning tells viewers not to attempt any stunts or activities presented throughout the show. It also condemns the submission of videos of any kind from viewers. If Ridiculousness doesn't accept submissions, then where are they getting their clips? Since the viral videos come from the internet, it sounds as simple as a Google search, but licensing is a tricky business. In a 2019 interview with John Interviews, host Rob Dyrdek revealed he isn't the one searching for the videos, but instead has a massive organization that handles the process. A team of people scours the internet, and when the perfect video is found, they try to make contact with the video's original uploader. Distractify notes that someone on Reddit claimed to receive a one-time $200 payment for their video. It's unclear if this is a regular practice for the show, but with an endless supply of videos online, we don't have to worry about Rob running out of hilarious content. Talk about a major earworm. If you're not old enough to know of the hit 80s rock band Devo, you might think the catchy theme song came from Ridiculousness. However, the theme song is actually a cover of Devo's Uncontrollable Urge from the band's classic debut album, Q, Are We Not Men? A, We Are Devo. In Season 4, Episode 9 of Fantasy Factory, Dyrdek teams up with Devo band member Mark Mothersbaugh to record the cover for Ridiculousness. Mothersbaugh has an expansive career himself. Along with co-founding the band Devo, his solo endeavors have included composing music for film and TV, such as Nickelodeon's Rugrats, and Wes Anderson's features Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, The Royal Tenenbaums, and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. So next time the Ridiculousness theme song gets stuck in your head, you know who to blame. Ridiculousness isn't only big in the US. The show airs all around the globe, but instead of dubbing episodes, each country gets its own hosts reacting to clips. In 2015, Ridiculous Chile was the first international version of the show, followed by Ridiculous Made in France, Vergüenza Ajena Made in Spain, and more in 2016. The effective format of Ridiculousness has also been used in multiple spin-offs, including MTV's Amazingness, Deliciousness, Messiness, and Adorableness. The first spin-off, Amazingness, deviated the most from the Ridiculousness format. Hosted by Dyrdek himself, the talent competition ran from December 2017 to January 2018, featuring 6 contestants performing in front of judges Chris Drama Pfaff, Eddie Huang, and Crystal B. A $10,000 prize was awarded to the final performer standing. The other 3 spin-offs do not feature Dyrdek, but they stay true to his style. Tiffany Thiessen commentates on disastrous food-related clips on Deliciousness. James Davis commentates on the kind of clips that make you cry out awe on Adorableness. And Snooki commentates on pure chaos on Messiness. MTV's launch in 1981 changed the course of television by being the first to air 24/7 music-related programming and music videos. However, with the internet offering a new way for fans to access music content, the network pivoted to the reality programming genre. This jarring change in content devastated an entire generation, but on August 1st, 2021, MTV's 40th anniversary, the network had the perfect opportunity to cater to longtime viewers. When scheduling was announced, Gen X was disappointed all over again. Instead of the usual 113 hours a week of Ridiculousness, MTV celebrated its birthday by playing the show for 24 hours straight. Twitter users and outlets such as Barstool Sports expressed their outrage while Ridiculousness fans celebrated in the background. A hot topic of discussion around Ridiculousness is the longtime feud between Dyrdek and Daniel Tosh of Tosh.0. It all started with a tweet from Tosh. "Congrats, Rob Dyrdek. New show looks very funny and familiar." Dyrdek tweeted back, "Thank you so much, Daniel Tosh. Maybe later this week, you, Bob Saget, and Tom Bergeron can come down to my factory and play." In an interview with Larry King, Dyrdek revealed that both Ridiculousness and Fantasy Factory were pitched and sold before Tosh.0 aired, but Fantasy Factory was produced first.
By the time my Ridiculousness came out, it was already after the first season of Tosh came out, right?
Tosh.
It can be argued there are more differences between the shows than similarities. The comedy styles are on opposite sides of the spectrum, with Tosh.0 taking a more scripted approach and sprinkling skits into episodes. The argument between the two came to a head when Tosh featured a sketch targeting Dyrdek for copying his show's premise. In a now deleted tweet, Dyrdek responded with, "I am not a comedian or an actor, so unfortunately for Daniel Tosh, we are going to have to settle this the old-fashioned way." This was followed by Tosh's tweet, "Fair enough, but if you have to beat me up, can we film it and put it on my show so people will actually watch it?" Dyrdek's co-hosts, Chanel West Coast and Stilo Brim, play a significant role in the show's success. Brim controls the playback of the clips, slowing down, rewinding, and zooming in on the funniest moments. And it isn't an episode of Ridiculousness without Chanel's contagious laugh. So how did Dyrdek find his two co-hosts? Chicago native Stilo Brim moved to Los Angeles to pursue a music career. Brim told CBS News that he was helping Dyrdek's cousin start a publishing and production company when he met Rob.
Rob just so happened to come to the studio like twice. And was just like, "Hey man, you're funny. We should do a show together."
Dyrdek followed through by bringing on Brim as co-host of Ridiculousness. He also regularly appeared in Fantasy Factory and Dyrdek's animation series Wild Grinders as the voice of Meaty. In an interview on the podcast No Jumper, Chanel explained how she managed to meet Dyrdek through MySpace.
I would go and I would add all the top artists on MySpace, and then I would add all their top friends.
One of those artists was Dyrdek's cousin, Chris Drama Pfaff. Through a friendship with him, Chanel met Dyrdek and hit it off. The rest, as they say, is history. Yet another feud sparks between Chanel West Coast and radio host Charlamagne the God. In episode 26 of season 9, Charlamagne appears as a guest host on the show. During the episode, Charlamagne says he values being straightforward with people and not being afraid to convey his opinions to people's faces. One of those opinions is about Chanel's rapping abilities.
She's saying that because I told her she was whack rapping one time,
Yeah.
that's all.
Chanel defended herself against the claims.
I'm just saying, though, you can have opinions. It doesn't mean they're right, though.
She then flaunts her long list of accomplishments as an established artist. Outlets blew the story up, but Chanel admits the beef didn't last more than 5 minutes. She tells 2Fab, "It's not so much that I took it personally, it's that I knew he was stating I was a whack rapper on a platform where all my fans were watching. The last thing I was gonna do was let somebody call me a whack rapper and not use that time right there to state the facts and set things straight." Can you think of a better job than getting to react to funny videos all day long with your friends? Still, that doesn't take away from how much hard work it takes to film hundreds of episodes over the course of 28 seasons. What started as filming a single episode for 12 hours turned into filming 6 episodes daily. Brim attributes this change to the hosts taking on a more improvisational style. Each episode calls for an outfit change, and the host's energy varies depending on how early or late the production is into filming. Chanel told In Touch that there's a reason why she sometimes looks tired.
If you ever see me looking a little extra tired, it's probably either the last episode of the day or it's the first episode of the day where I was still really tired.
Dyrdek never wanted to be the old guy on TV. His one true passion has always been entrepreneurship, but it was impossible to pass up the money that came with his shows on MTV. In an interview with Graham Bensinger, Dyrdek talked about how he almost walked away from Ridiculousness.
I don't want to be on MTV when I'm 40. I don't want to be Kurt Loder.
It's no secret that money has played a significant role in Dyrdek's longtime partnership with MTV. So how much does he make from Ridiculousness? In an interview on Jason Tartick's podcast, Trading Secrets, Dyrdek revealed the number. "They would only pay me $35,000 an episode to do Ridiculousness, and then they offered me the $125,000. And then when I got the integration rights, then I'm like, I'm just gonna do this because I can just make millions doing this." Later on, 3 shows in with MTV, Dyrdek said, "I was able to get way more money based on the success of what had happened with Fantasy Factory." Of course, that $125,000 is just the talent fee. That number doesn't even include the money made from integration deals that Dyrdek took advantage of in all his shows. Dyrdek explained that if MTV didn't offer a massive paycheck, Season 4 would have ended his hosting gig for Ridiculousness. MTV knew the stakes were high, so when it came to negotiations, Dyrdek had a leg up and got an offer he couldn't refuse. After the signing of the contract, Dyrdek called MTV a great partner. As an entrepreneur, Dyrdek didn't just get lucky. He knew exactly what he was doing and used his platform on MTV as a way to make millions elsewhere. The entire premise of Fantasy Factory was tailored around product integration. Dyrdek would write intricate, integrated brand partnerships with advertisers into the show, and then would use those same advertisers to make other big deals on the side for his own ventures. Whether he's promoting clothing brands by wearing them on Robin Big and Ridiculousness, or doing stunts in a Carl's Jr. costume on Fantasy Factory, Dyrdek's savvy marketing skills granted him the ability to broaden his financial reach beyond the MTV network. In addition to a fun, laugh-filled time, each episode of Ridiculousness offers a variety of star-studded guest hosts. Some of the most popular appearances include from Riff Raff and Ray J from Season 3, Kendall and Kylie Jenner from Season 5, Eric Andre from Seasons 6, 8, and 20, and Dyrdek's frequent collaborator Christopher Big Black Boykin, who tragically passed in 2017. More recent episodes have seen a decline in celebrity guest hosts, but some of the show's most memorable moments can be linked to their many guests. Take, for example, an episode with Kevin Hart where an entire segment titled Big Ass Man Pigeons was inspired by Hart's fearful encounter with an ostrich.
He didn't move his body, but his head like spent all the way around. And he started following me, and I was like, yo, man, get the out of here, ostrich.
Only Ridiculousness can think of a connection like that. Or Eric Andre's visits, which largely consist of him flirting with co-host Chanel West Coast, and an email's worth of swear words that needed to be censored after taping. One way or another, celebrities are always bringing something special to Ridiculousness. Most people aren't familiar with Chanel West Coast's long-term connection to the Ridiculousness studio. Chanel has taken many different avenues in her career, from recording music to acting in MTV's The Hard Times of R.J. Berger to becoming a supporting cast member on the reality TV series Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. However, as Chanel told In Touch, a recurring theme in her career has always been the Hollywood Center studio, where Ridiculousness does its filming.
And there's like this weird divine thing about this studio. Like, my first job was there, and then I ended up filming Ridiculousness there.
Maybe we can attribute the great success of Ridiculousness to this magical occurrence. One can only hope Chanel's future endeavors will have her revisit the studio time and time again.